Let's see what England had to do. Up with the volume, please.
Since Roman times, London has been a thriving global trade centre. The biggest ships in the world. Bustling warehouses within London's docks gave cargo owners space to store goods and distribute to markets. Then, with the advance of the industrial age, ships began to grow in size. Central London couldn't provide the deeper waters the ships needed, and they moved away from the city. The 1960s saw the biggest revolution yet in global shipping: containerization. Containerization led to an explosion in global trade, with ships doubling in size. Ports around the world modernized to handle container shipping. London's planners had great vision, but weren't able to turn their ideas into reality.
A great new deep water seaport.
At the same time, vast distribution centres in the middle of the UK were built, giving cargo owners new places to store goods before moving them to shops or manufacturers. The way goods were moved across the country changed dramatically. Today, instead of goods being directly shipped into London, they enter ports miles away and are transported by road to the middle of the country for storage. But in the end, many of these goods will still come to London. This just isn't efficient. Millions of road miles are clocked up, transporting goods across the country, only for the freight to move again to the London area. Can we make it simpler, save time, cut costs, and do more for the environment? Can we make the way goods are moved around the country more efficient? In shipping, the relentless drive for efficiency means that the largest ships now on order will each carry 18,000 containers. By the end of 2013, over 200 new giants of the sea will be in service. These ships need ports with deeper water, longer berths, larger cranes, and higher productivity. If Britain can't handle these ships, it will lose out to foreign ports, and we'll have to double handle our imports to get them into the UK, costing us even more. So let's make Britain more efficient. Let's think about how we can do things better. Let's think about the future. Let us introduce you to London Gateway. London Gateway is a custom-built global deep-sea port and logistics centre, bringing innovation and new opportunities to UK supply chains. London Gateway is conceived for the way business will be done tomorrow. It's Britain's new, world-class, future-proof infrastructure. London Gateway will handle the new giants of the sea faster than any other port in the UK. Its unrivaled location gives businesses unbeatable proximity to markets, with the ability to reach 2/3 of the UK more cost-effectively. Fully integrated with the port, the distribution centres on London Gateway's logistics park will remove the need to transport many containers across land, saving millions of road miles. Supply chains will be made more efficient by direct distribution to retailers. Making the UK more efficient is at the heart of London Gateway. Less road freight, reduced fuel costs, and lower carbon emissions is good news for everyone. The location is unrivaled. London Gateway will change the UK for the better, forever.
London Gateway involves dredging a section of the River Thames known as the Yantler Channel, and the French-registered Rubens is anchored and ready for work. The Rubens here is one of several dredgers which over the next 3 years will shift more than 20 million cubic metres of sand and silt from the bottom of the Thames estuary. I'm told by engineers here that's enough sediment to fill 12,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
The environmental management programme being undertaken by DP World on this project is immense. it is an example to the rest of the world and has seen DP World working closely with UK's governmental bodies, including the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, the Environment Agency, Natural England, the Marine Fisheries Agency and other organisations. This follows a rigorous public inquiry process which carried out full consultation. The site has an abundance of wildlife that DP World is committed to protecting. As part of a massive relocation scheme, reptiles like newts, slowworms, lizards, grass snakes and adders are being taken to a new location in Wiltshire. Meanwhile, the rare great crested newt will be moved to specially created sites nearby London Gateway. Paul Franklin heads a team of ecologists working with DP World who are collecting and relocating tens of thousands of reptiles. The project DP World is undertaking is one of the UK's largest reptile and ecological mitigation programmes ever to take place.
Okay, this is a female adder. This is Britain's only venomous reptile. This one's an adult female. See, they're generally quite placid, really. So in this tank we have a grass snake, which is a non-venomous snake that's generally associated with wetland habitats and eats frogs and fish and other amphibians. This is a female common lizard, one of our most widespread reptiles, but still a declining species and protected under the Wildlife and Countryside Act. This is a slowworm, which is actually not a worm at all, but a species of lizard, of legless lizard.
Polythene fencing stretching a total of 25 kilometres criss-cross the London Gateway site, which is used to capture the reptiles.
These drift fences are designed to trap newts in the terrestrial habitat. In this pitfall bucket we've got a female smooth newt. As the newts migrate through the terrestrial habitat, they come up against the drift fence, walk along the drift fence and then fall down into the pitfall bucket. So pop her in there and move on to the next one.
26,000 mats are laid out across the site which warm up under the sun and attract a variety of wildlife underneath, including common newts, slowworms and lizards. All these mats are turned over twice a day by a team of 25 ecologists.
It really is exciting. It's not just reptiles and great crested newts that we're dealing with. We've also got water voles and badgers, and we're doing invertebrate surveys and botanical surveys on the site as well. So it is a very interesting project.
As part of an overall £50 million environmental protection scheme, DP World is turning this area to the west of the London Gateway site, which is currently arable land, into mudflats by breaching the sea wall. This will create new habitats for birds and other wildlife and replace intertidal mudflats that will be built over by the port development. Great Garland's Farm is the first site ready to receive great crested newts, while to the north of London Gateway is a massive area also being prepared for the protected reptile. Covering a total area of 53 hectares, DP World is creating 24 man-made ponds, which vary in depths of between 1.5 metres to 3.25 metres.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I showed this video really to show what London had to go through to create development. They had to reinvent themselves. This project was situated in one of the most ecologically sensitive areas in England. But they did it and recreated space to relocate what they had. Right now, the fish at Goat Island, the fish stock is depleted. It's an opportunity for us to recreate an industry that now does not exist. So I'm just saying, too much of the dialogue is being spent on either the environment or development. Without development, I have another video, I'll skip over it. I can share it with you later. You'll see what happens in Haiti. That without development, we're going to damage the future. I'm just saying this to lay the context that in order for skills development, we have to look in that context. I'm going to skip over this just to go too quickly. The future, there's a paradigm shift. 2 billion jobs will disappear by 2030, or 50% of all the jobs. As the Minister of Education said, we now have to do a shift in our training, teaching and learning. It's now about skill sets, not degrees. It's about not certificates, but competence. And this is what is required to create and to propel new entrepreneurs' skills. In a global economy, a government cannot give anybody a guaranteed success story. What we are looking for is how to simplify the complexity. But the world is about how to manage the complexity. I was happy what you said, our guest speaker said, entrepreneurship is about finding problems and solving them. But we want to escape problems. Where problems are, money is under them. That's the place to look. 60% of the best jobs in the next 10 years have not yet been invented. What are we doing? What are we looking for? Ladies and gentlemen, the type of skill sets that we need, believe me, if we listen to the young people, you see creativity. We tend to stifle creativity with the type of structure and inflexible way we operate. And this is what we have to change for the future. I'll skip over this. You had jobs that used to exist years ago. Elevator operator, long distance operator. You remember these jobs? Where are these jobs now? But the skill sets are transferable. Just to tell you quickly, I was in another job, I was looking for a customer service rep. And I just came across this CV that somebody who worked in 2 funeral parlors were applying. And I put that in the shortlist just for interest. And this person came head and shoulders above everyone else. I said, tell me, how do you see you transitioning from a funeral parlor to come to work in a shipping company? They said, customer service is the same, whether you give it to the living or the dead. So ladies and gentlemen, the STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, not just to pick off the nice things and say these are what we're going to do for the future. The dialogue, the language have to change. I'll skip over this in the interest of time just to go to the end. I was going to show you that the future is about complex, fragmented, specialized careers as opposed to a portfolio. I guess speaker could move from oil and gas, from technology to shift. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing where I like just this era, we have to now deal with integration and look at a complex world. So tertiary education have to change. The dialogue is not just about what I like, and I keep offering the same things over and over. We now have to look at results. Madness is doing the same thing on a different day and expect different results. Right, Pauline? Yes, that's how you got to, so we met at Bellevue. So ladies and gentlemen, how do you stand out from the crowd? Uncertainty is the only thing to be sure of. If you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. That's certain. It's no longer enough to be a change agent. It's about being a change insurgent. This is what the education system looks like now. You have a dog, a seal, a fish, an elephant, a monkey, a bird. The poor examiner is confused. He said, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. How does the dog, the elephant, the fish get up into the tree? Who was the first into the tree? The bird. But he failed because the instruction said fly. Said climb, and he flew. So ladies and gentlemen, it's about managing complexity for the future.